So, first, this isn't new this week. It got dinged up a little bit, but this is Teen Titans number 20. This is the first full appearance of Crush. That's why you're not talking loud. Yeah, ASMR. It's like whispering. Let me know if you can't hear my voice or if I'm too loud or something. So, this is the first full appearance of Crush, which is Lobo's daughter. Came out a couple weeks ago, maybe like a month ago or something. It's only like a $5 book, something like that, but I have one. I figured I'd pick up another. Okay, actually new this week. Catwoman number 3. Iced. Catwoman's actually been pretty good. This week I read basically only the number ones, so I'm a little behind. Excuse me. But number one and two are pretty good. I'm sorry, my throat's not having this. Batman Detective Comics 988. 2 more issues and we're at 990. That's crazy. We're almost at issue 1000 for Detective Comics. That'll happen in, what, 6 months? What's up, Void? Maybe you'll actually play Fortnite with us later. I doubt it though, you don't like Fortnite, even though you're always on Fortnite. Hawkman number 4. Grounded on Thanagar. Skelly Bro's got a gun to Hawkman's head. That's not cool. Okay, the first number 1. This is from DC Vertigo. This is House of Whisper number 1. This is the second book to come out, part of the Sandman universe. It's gonna be this, The Dreaming, Lucifer, and Book of Magic. This book did not grab me at all. I'm just gonna be honest. I got it because it's part of the Sandman universe, and at the end we get a little bit of Cain and Abel. It did not grab me at all. Maybe next issue it'll make a little bit more sense, and I'll go back and reread this one, and it'll be a little better. But for first issue, it's kind of a little lackluster. Next up, we have number 6 of Immortal Men. I have no idea what the hell's going on in Immortal Men. Looks like a symbiote. This black goop. It's like Venom. A Venom movie's coming out like next month or something. Maybe I'll do a like quick review video of that. Probably not ASMR. Plastic Man number 4. Ready for another Green Lantini? Sure, I don't have the willpower to resist. Oh my fucking god. We've got Batgirl in the background. Robin, Wonder Woman. Looks like Batman and Catwoman on a fucking pole. Zatanna, Supergirl. What the hell's going on with this cover? It's insane. There's too much going on. It's like superhero bar. Next up, Sideways number 8. I'm actually really excited for Sideways. The next issue has a number 300 swipe. Amazing Spider-Man number 300 cover swipe. The first appearance of Venom. And I love that cover. Hey Chicho, what's up? But you can see we've got Miracle Man over here. That's interesting. Side by side with the 7 soldiers. Maybe that's not Miracle Man, just like, kind of looks like him. Mystery Science Theater 3000. The just 2 parts. I think there's going to be a couple issues. It's from Dark Horse. You can watch the original show on Netflix. You're welcome for the free plug, Netflix. Mystery Science Theater was a show I watched a lot when I was younger. And I'm glad there's a comic book now. Kind of makes sense. Either these covers are intentionally worn, or I got a lot of damage on mine, but this is the Seeds #2. I can't quite remember what happened in the first one. I feel like it was more than just a month ago. I have neighbors with very giant trucks that like to rev them up all late at night. Lowlife's #4 from IDW. We can see our main character, Policeman. I forget his name. With blood on him. Whenever he finally got up to the sexual assaulting person from the first issue. We've got Cemetery Beach #1 from Image. This book was actually really fun. It's Warren Ellis, so it's pretty good. It's basically this this military agent is sent to another planet where we discover that in the 1920s, the U.S. military found a device that could transport you anywhere in space and time. So they found another planet that was like Earth, and they tried to colonize it, but then they stopped communication and they stopped transport of supplies, or like heavy transport of this stuff. So this main character guy, I don't think we learned his name. I forget. He's there to like kind of see what's going on this like off Earth, and the people there have been living there for like 80 or 100 years, like dreaming of going back to Earth, and he eventually like kills a bunch of people. It's a very action-packed issue. There's a lot of pages that don't have any words. It's just like him getting captured and then escaping on this Earth that's not Earth. It's pretty cool. MCMLXXV, or translated from Roman numerals. I almost said Times New Roman twice. It's a font. 1975. This book, I'll give it reading the #2. But it didn't grab me kinda at all. It was at first just this chick who's a cab driver in 1975. She's just a cab driver, and then some shit happens, and then like ninjas from the underworld come, and she has to like fight them with this tire wrench that is like magic. It was probably the most 90s book I've read since the 90s. It's just like she looks back in the rearview mirror of her taxi cab, and there's just a bunch of ninjas following her, and it's like, is this 2018? This is when this book came out. I don't know. I'll give it till #2. It was, I don't know. I like the art. Art's pretty great. You gotta win. Nice, Void. Congrats. I realized I have another 250,000 XP until I get to Max Ragnarok. So are you sure you read all your comics, or do you just collect them? I read about 85% of them. And then the other 15, the other 15% of them, most of the time I don't have much time to read at work. I just read like the number ones and the interesting stuff, and save like the number twos and number 988 for later because we don't really need to talk about them. This is Crowded number 2. If you remember last month we talked about this book. It was kind of like set in a not so distant future where there's basically an app to do anything that you want. Like if you need your dog to be babysat, there's an app for that. If you need to hire a hitman, there's an app for that. And this book kind of deals with that. And this lady's wanted on some app, and this lady is like a bodyguard that she hires, and all these people are trying to hunt her for some unknown reason. This month is, I think we talked about it last week, True Believers Marvel Knights month. So the True Believers series is when they reprint old classic books in $1 form, so they're affordable and you can read them. No one wants to drop $400 on a Luke Cage number 1 just to read it. They want to keep that safe. But this is a book I've never actually had a chance to read. It's the first, Luke Cage here for hire. Luke Cage is an interesting character. I like him in the Defenders Netflix stuff. Never watched his Netflix. And he's done real well in the Defenders comic book, at least till last year. There's another True Believers this month. I'm gonna take the next stack out. This week we have a lot of books. And it's Marvel Knights, Alias number 1. It's the first appearance of Jessica Jones, written by Bendis, Brian Michael Bendis, who currently has like 6 books right now in DC, both Superman and some creator-owned shit he's writing. I've never actually read any Alias. I watched the show once upon a time, but never read it. We've got, of course, a third printing of Venom number 3. Gruul. I can't remember this guy's name. Gruul, I think. The god of the symbiotes. It's a cool panel. You joined Twitch Kittens, yeah. A lot of people have joined it. Their Discord has like 17,000 people or something. You should go join it too. There's a lot of friendly people. Just don't get banned from it. Saw a glimpse of it, but this is the Mac cover. Did he? I guess it wasn't Mac who helped create Alias. I think he did a lot of the art later on for Alias. Or Jessica Jones, whatever. This is Superman number 3. I only have the variant covers for this because I'm not really a big fan of Bendis' writing, at least in terms of Superman. His Scarlet and Pearl were pretty good. I'm excited for the number 2s of those. It's a nice cover. Mac always has these awesome watercolor covers. And of course, the Adam Hughes cover. Because Adam Hughes is one of those artists, his artwork is fantastic. I'm a sucker. Also, this, I keep forgetting her name. It's, Frison, last name Frison. Been doing all of these Wonder Woman alternate covers lately. Like the past 6, something like that. They're pretty great. 6. Kinda see this kind of silhouette of a wolf. What's that called? I'm trying to think of a certain word. That's a subtle wolf. There's a little bit of an eagle down here. I didn't read the original American Gods. I have the whole My Ansel up to number 6 currently, just because of the alternate covers. Maybe I should read it. It's a variant cover for ASM number 5 versus the Cosmic Ghost Rider. There was supposed to be another variant cover for this. It was going to be the Spider-Man video game variant, but it didn't show up this week. It was kind of disappointing. It was supposed to. They just never shipped it to us. Diamond Comics. Lame. It's the Beauty number 23, cover B. If you don't know anything about the Beauty, it's basically like a STD that makes you as beautiful as you can be, and then you die. It's pretty morbid, but I got a chance to meet Jeremy Hahn, the writer of Beauty. I think he's a writer and involved with the art somehow, like ink or pencils or something. He's a pretty cool guy. So these two covers are pretty cool. This is the Cemetery Beach number 1 Virgin cover. So you can see a little bit more of this map of what appears to be this new Earth. Yeah, it's just like a city map. There's birds in this video that I'm watching. The nature sounds video, and it scared me. Yeah, it's like longitude and latitude. It's pretty cool. It's a nice cover. But then there's this. So this is a very clearly Amazing Spider-Man homage cover. This is Cemetery Beach number 1. This is the escaped convict that our main character over here breaks out of prison because she is native to this world, and he needs someone to get him back to where his ship is. And then you've got the direct barcode, but this is like the mayor or president of the New Earth. It's pretty cool. It's weird that she's got spider webs though. We've got the variant cover for Archie, 1941. I think we talked about this last week. With the Nightwing variant, even though it's not this 300 swipe position, like the person isn't in that position, so it's not a 300 swipe. I love art with like these simple geometric shapes, like the big ass circle. When it's such a stark color, it's pretty cool. Also, is Team Rocket. Blast off at the speed of light. And I think this is the variant for another new number 1 this week, Moth and Whisper. I have the other cover somewhere else. I think this is the variant, Moth and Whisper from Aftershock. It took me by surprise. I flipped through the first like 2 or 3 pages and wasn't impressed, and then I actually sat down and read it. It was pretty good. It's basically this story where the Moth and the Whisper are these kind of like super sleuths or super spies, working in some fictional city. Their identities are hidden, and they're both Moth can disguise herself as anyone she wants. She can change clothes like in a matter of seconds and look like anyone and blend in perfectly. The Whisperer is a master at like breaking into places and stealing shit. So it turns out they were actually working together. There's a big storyline about how they were pitted against each other by like big corporations that hired them and whatever. But now they've gone missing, and the Moth and Whisper have come back after about a year or 6 months of not being anywhere. Like they would, I guess, leave like calling cards. Like if something got stolen from your pocket, in its place would be the card that said Moth on it or something. No fingerprints, I guess. So their kid has now taken up the mantle of both Moth and Whisper, and we kind of see how that gets the kid in trouble, and we have to discover like where they've gone and how their kid plans on getting them back. I don't know, it seemed pretty interesting. I like the like stealth kind of stuff, and I don't know, it seemed interesting. The art was pretty great. And there's parts of it where it's like, oh, this is clearly a woman talking to this man, and then they steal something, and the kid turns out to be someone else in the room that's disguised, but they were also the first person that was disguised because they can change outfits like super quick. It gets very confusing very quickly. So it's interesting to see this kind of dynamic with this super spy, like 15-year-old. Okay. Maybe I'm not doing it justice, but it's pretty good. Maybe at some point I'll read this. Probably not, though. This is the variant cover for Nancy Drew, number 4. I don't think that this is Tula Lote. Not many artists sign the cover anymore. There's another artist I've been collecting. I can't ever pronounce the name, but it starts with a G. Maybe someday I'll remember it and write it down. Run out of space for books. Rune World number 3. I think this is, it's Kaboom, so it's designed for kids, but I like it because the main character's a little fox, and they're all like, little animals like turtles, shellless turtles, and frogs, and whatever. A squirrel with a bow, like, that seems cool. It's only a 5-part series, so seems worth it. This cover's fantastic. Archer has been fucking killing it lately, and a lot of his art used to be gated behind, like you have to buy 15 or 20 of one book just to get one variant of his. But since he started focusing a lot more on DC, DC variants are buy as many as you want kind of deal. Like if I order comic books for the store, I can either buy, say, 10 Catwomans, if I need to get 10 Catwomans, number 3 specifically. I could buy 10 of cover A, 10 of cover B, or 7 and 3, or 9 and 1, something like that. I'm most of the time just gonna split it in the middle, because these Artgerms, the Artgerm covers sell like instantly, because he's fantastic. His art is so good. Alright, I'm gonna move some of these over. Okay. Hey Lizard, what's up? Next up, this was a free book given to us, so I figured I'd pick it up and see what's up. But this is from Ahoy Comics. That's a publisher. Oh, this is one's kind of in like a nuclear winter. The other one's bustling. At the bottom, Mark Miller says, if you love superheroes, you need this. If you hate superheroes, this will change your mind. Oh, it's, so this is extras. Paul Constant, Frank Camuso, and Grant Morrison. But Morrison didn't have his hand in this book. It looks like his name's not up at the top. I don't know. Maybe there's something by Grant Morrison in here. Next up, Oblivion Song number 7. I'm so excited for this book. You have no idea. It's been about 8 months. No, 9 months since I've seen an Oblivion Song that I haven't already read. So, I got the retailer exclusive trade paperback of the first 6 books about 2 months before number 1 came out. That way I could read it and kind of hype it up a little bit at my store. So I've read 1 through 6. Like I said earlier, I only had time to read number 1s and Interesting Things this week. So I'm excited to read this because it's new. I didn't get a chance yet. And it's new. Number 7, finally. The Weatherman number 4. I like how every cover is just like big block color and then a funky color Weatherman. Very stylistic. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 5. Cover A. Still mad I didn't get the variant cover for number 5. The video game variant. Hopefully it'll come in. Sometimes if they don't send us stuff, I can just be like, hey, you didn't send us the thing. And they'll just send it. Other times I like actually have to fight for it. Domino number 6. We can kind of see Domino throughout the ages. Original Domino and where she's gone. It's a fun book. Okay, this one's pretty big. This is Fantastic Four number 2. Someone keeps what the fuck? Someone's like parked in the street with their car facing the house. And that's like perpendicular to the road. That's fucking weird. Anyway, now I'm just gonna be like looking over there, making sure they're not staring at me through the window. Anyway, Fantastic Four number 2. So in this issue, we finally see what Reed and Sue have been up to. Okay, they're gone. Sorry guys. I live near some weird fucking people. We finally see what Reed and Sue have been up to while they've been gone, you know, for years or whatever. Issue number 1, we didn't get to see that. We got to see what Johnny and Ben were up to. And by the end of the issue, they figure out a way to teleport John and Ben, or Johnny and Ben, to them. So, like the very last page, the Fantastic Four is reunited, and that's Iceman is not a particularly popular character. I know he is very popular among the gay community. His book ended like 5 months ago, and now they just made a new one for some reason. First issue, cool new era. It's basically him like dealing with the other X-Men in the Xavier house. Yes, a Cthulhu monster. Infinity Wars #3. The whole Infinity Wars event has been pretty cool. I like the countdown, I like the tie-ins. Actually, in October, there's a Sleepwalker tie-in. That's pretty cool. I like Sleepwalker. Alright. Not quite done yet. Got a lot more books. Journey into Mystery, the Birth of Krakoa. #1. Krakoa is the island, what do they call it? The island that can see or something like that. It's like a person who like becomes an island. It's Journey into Mystery, so that's pretty exciting. I haven't had a Journey into Mystery book in a long time. Alright, we got... I don't know why this series is weekly. Venom First Host, #3. As implied, and as we've said for the past 2 weeks, it's a story about the first host of our beloved Venom. This is also just, what's his name? Costa. He's the one who was writing the previous Venom series. Before Donny Cates. It's basically the next story arc from him, from that book, and it's like, it's the same creative team and everything. It's like, what the hell? Why didn't you just continue the book for another like 5 issues? And then they kind of give him this, and it's like, okay, well, you have a month to get it done. Every week, an issue comes out for this. So they just want his story to be over. It feels kind of rude. Weapon H #7. Fight with Cap. Looks like some interesting monsters. They kind of remind me of the monsters from Pitch Black, the movie with Vin Diesel. I love that movie. And he's got some blood on his blades. Weapon H doesn't fuck around. Again, this is a very classic looking, awesome cover. This might actually make me want to read Archie. I'm not a very big fan of Archie. It's the 1941 #1, cover A. But it's got the very geometric shapes. White cover, stark yellow, and red contrast. Not Team Rocket. Riverdale. I don't know, I like things that are classic. Like, I like watching things that are set in like a 40s and 30s setting. I like Fallout. Like Fallout 4 is pretty great. So I'm sure I'd get a kick out of this if it was done correctly, you know. I grew up with my grandparents. Basically, 50% of the time I was with my parents, 50% of the time I was with my grandparents. So I gained an appreciation so that's probably why it's so cheap. But it felt like a really good deal. Like there's not too much. There's a good amount of story in it. It's awesome because the color scheme is literally just white, black, and red, which is my favorite color combination. They play off each other really well, as you can see from the cover. But it's a very world-building issue. There's whole pages of text, not whole pages, but panels of text, and then the next page will just be very ominous, dark imagery with no words. I'm not sure how this is gonna unfold into a 3-part series, but we'll see. It says Dark Covenant Part 1. I'm also not sure because this is my first Alterna Comics book ever. I'm not sure if it's like an ongoing thing that they've done. Like have they touched Blood Realm before? I have no idea. This could just be a mini series that's part of a bigger thing that I just don't know exists. It doesn't seem like it, but who knows? I've been trying to branch off into like Alterna or Aspen or these not super tiny independent publishers, but not the typical ones. If you think of Aftershock and Boom to be like the middle popularity ones, Alterna and Aspen are like the lower popularity ones, and I feel like that might be unjustified because there are some great books and great writers that come out of those publishers, and I'm trying to find them so I can preach to the world how great they are. Next up from Aftershock, Speak of the Devil, Hot Lunch Special number 2. Best food in town since 1974. I like this cover. It's very creepy. It's got some policeman's head in a vending machine with like fruit and shit. This is an interesting cover. I'm not going to read everything on it, but this is the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Tempest, issue number 2. I wish I could show you the back cover. It has a drawing that is very Kirby-esque. This is written by Alan Moore. Alan Moore in Bad Language Incident. Kevin O'Neill, a forced artistic license. It's pretty good. Alan Moore's fantastic. I heard he's going to be writing something else soon. He's come out of his 4-year retirement to write something. I wish it would take over the fucking Doomsday Clock shit that's going on right now. Alright, next up, from Boom, another one we were just talking about, Low Road West, number 1 of 5. This is a post-apocalyptic series. I don't think we learned, I'm trying to remember because I read this yesterday, I don't think we learned exactly how the world became apocalyptic. But there's some children and a family that now have to deal with this kind of life. I believe it seemed as if they were either born into it or already used to everything. Like they knew a lot of stuff about living in the post-apocalyptic life, or post-apocalyptic world. So it's not a recent thing. Alright, this is the cover A for Moth and Whisper. That's the kid. It's a really unique book. So cover B for House of Whispers. And we talked about this earlier. Like I said, honestly, it didn't grab me until the last page when they just decided to mash this with Cain and Abel from the Dreaming. I was like, oh, okay, maybe it'll tie can somehow, and I'll read it. Honestly, the preview for this book in the Sandman Universe one shot was infinitely better than this book. I'm not gonna lead you astray. I'm gonna give it to you how it is. I bought it in hopes that number 2 would be better. So we'll see. Yeah, these variants are fucking cool. This is a Red Hood 40. I'm not even close. Red Hood 26. Red Hood and the Outlaws 26. Variant cover. It's fucking sweet, right? It's like, looks like a Red Skull. It's like melting. And lastly, we've got Suicide Squad. Hey, Boxu, what's up? How you doing? Suicide Squad 46. This is a Deadshot. Getting his hat, fucking his helmet blown up. You scratch the pages with your nails. You like ASMR? I don't actually have any comic books outside of the Megan boards, so no. GL Batman, what's up? I like ASMR too. Okay, I've got one more thing. You said cheaper thing. It's like regular paper being scratched. I don't have any paper. This is what your life has come to. Mine. Green Lantern Batman. I can't get this open. I need something to cut this open. I've got this, I forgot about this. Okay. Got a special book this week. Saving it for last. Hey, it's awesome. How you doing? Okay. So this is the trade paperback for Tales of Fear and Food from Around the World. Anthony Bourdain's Hungry Ghosts. So, nickname is awesome. It's awesome. I see what you did there. If you remember a couple months ago, Anthony Bourdain, he killed himself. I don't think we know exactly why. I don't know if we can ever understand why, but this is the tale of his, I believe he co-wrote it. I know it's got some recipes. It's like a ukiyo-e style. At least it starts off in Japan. Maybe there's 5 books, I think. I think it's a 4 or 5 part series. And each one takes place in a different country. You can kind of see it's not ukiyo-e. It's not ukiyo-e style. It's kind of like got normal comic art in it. But apparently there's 5 recipes in it. So I kind of like that. It's hardcover. So that's pretty good too. Anthony Bourdain had an awesome show where he just traveled the world and ate awesome food and cooked awesome food, and I'm a big proponent of the Food Network because I love food, and I read the first one of these months months ago, like 7 months ago, and I knew right away that I just wanted to wait until it was collected into a trade, because, like I said, it was like 4 or 5 different books, and I don't like waiting for things that are good, if that makes sense. Like Game of Thrones, for instance. I maybe watch the first episode of a new season, and then I wait until it's all over, so I don't have to wait in between episodes. For most comic books, I wait until I have a couple of them and then read them all at once, because if I really like it, I don't want to have to wait. I'd rather wait an extended amount of time with the promise of reading a bunch than just, reading them issue by issue. But this trade paperback's awesome. I want to see, this is some nice pages. Some cover art in the back. Oh, this looks like Junji Ito's artwork. This is kind of gross. Makes sense to wait. Yeah, it's cheaper to do that anyway. Like this trade paperback, it's a hardcover. It has 4 issues in it, and it costs $15. Now, if you think about it, the 4 issues, I think it comes out in May. Awesome. Or April. Each issue was $3.99 plus tax. It's $4.23 times 4. It's about the same price as this, but you get a hardback. It's all collected into one thing. You get 5 recipes. I'm trying to find the recipes. Can't wait. Yeah, me either. It's the last season. There's more grotesque looking things. Maybe we'll do a reading of this book. I've been looking for a book to do ASMR. I just set up. I have a bunch of lights and a camera, a tripod that I can set up, and we can do like top-down ASMR videos. I've been looking for a book specifically to do ASMR readings. Oh, here we go. There's some recipes. I'll see what the recipes are. Okay, so the 5 recipes are. It's just sad, but so excited. Yeah, me too. It's only gonna be like 6 episodes or something. Tokyo ramen. Okay, classic meatballs. Okay, so these recipes are coming from specific places. So Tokyo ramen comes from the Starving Skeleton. Kinda wanna eat there. Next up, classic meatballs from the Salty Horse. Osobuco from the Hits. I don't even know what this is. Veal shanks. Yeah, it just looks like a rubbed veal shank and some veggies. It's weird. I'm assuming it's some kind of Asian dish. I don't know. I'm not good at reading cookbooks. I'm not good at cooking. I cook like 3 things. Saffron risotto from the Hits as well. And pan-seared duck breast with red cabbage. From Boil in the Belly. There we go. Yokai, that's what they are. All the ghosts and stuff from Japan. Yokai. There's some really kind of interesting art in this book. I can't wait to read it. Maybe we What's your